Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 Sim Experience SA BMW M2 CS Racing Cup Season 1 as we come to our final round of the championship. 8th round out of 8. I'm your commentator, Dennis Mitchell, and your broadcast director is Sim Experience SA. We're coming to you for round 8 from Suzuka West. We're using the Suzuka, well, it's Suzuka, but we're using the West chicane layout, which is the normal West one, but there's added chicane where R300 or R30 was. I think it's R30. It was called the R300 because of a freeway here. Coming into this round, like I say, it's our final round of the championship. So the 8-round championship, we will then have a Porsche Super Cup Championship. We will then be doing a British Touring Car Championship for 8 rounds, and followed by that we will then have Season 2 of the 2022 BMW M2 CS Racing Cup, proudly brought to you by Alwin Automotive Glass. Right, so we're now heading into qualifying. Guys have a 15-minute qualifying session. Let's get our live timing up. So if we look at our previous session, coming into qualifying, we had Chris with the fastest time of a 28.3, Timo on a 28.4, Jason on a 28.5, Basil on a 28.6, Andre on a 29.7. Wilro has finally joined us, so welcome Wilro. Good to have another Dippenar and another fast Dippenar with us. He's joined us and he's done a 130.6, Bjorn Buchner on 131.5, Andre Hildebrandt on a 133.120, Dana Stando in 9th on a 133.5, Harvey Coast on a 33.6, Herman on a 34.9, and Maurice van Beek will not set a time. I'm not sure, but I believe we had another driver join. I believe Hilton was joining, but I don't see him at the moment. Right, so let's get everything up and running here. If there's any issues with my audio levels, please let me know, because I've plugged our headphones in after the fact and now I don't hear everything like I should. Well, that's on my side, so hopefully on your side everything still sounds fine. I just don't have any reference at the moment. And then of course to the YouTube comments, Lynn Sevenster, good evening, and hope you're having a good evening and hope you've had a great weekend. And hello to everyone else on the YouTube channel. Remember, if you're enjoying what you're watching, remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified of any further content. While we're watching all the drivers heading out doing their laps, rFactor has had a major update during the week. It's had a physics revision. It's also had a drop of some new content, the British Touring Car content, which includes Brands Hatch, it includes Donington and 2 of the British Touring Cars, including the Toyota Corolla and the Infiniti Q50, I believe it's called. So those drive extremely well and are very popular at the moment with the guys that have bought it. So we will definitely be doing a British Touring Car Championship following the Porsche Super Cup. Maybe by then we'll even have some more cars. I think in about 3 months time they'll drop more, so we probably won't have it in time for that championship. But we do have enough tracks at least, so we can definitely do a full championship. As we see Andre just putting a wheel in the dirt and losing it and heading off into the barrier there. The AstroTurf on this track is extremely annoying, the way it can pull the car and send you off like that, so you've got to be very careful not to put a foot wrong there. As I was saying there, so we'll definitely be doing a British Touring Car Championship, so that is definitely on the card. So anyone who likes British Touring Cars, you can do yourself a favor, grab the content and come join us. In the meantime, we'll be doing the Porsche Super Cup in the next season, which is using the Flat 6, which is a free mod by Indie Racers. So a fantastic mod, and if you like them, feel free to join there. I believe they have a Facebook page and possibly even a Patreon that you can go and give them some money for a cup of coffee, because they've given us a fantastic car that we're going to be driving, and it's absolutely free. So feel free to support them if you like their free content. It is available in the Steam Workshop. But back to our championship with almost 11 minutes left to go. I've been talking about everything other than this. So currently on front we have Basil van Rijn on a 29 now, and that's likely to be topped fairly soon. Chris currently in second, Timo Smit in third, Jason Underwood in fourth. We have a Dippenaar in fifth. I'm not sure which Dippenaar. Now that we have two Dippenaars, I might need to change how the names are shown. I'm not sure if I can. I'd like to have their full names so that we know who they are. I think 04, it's 04, so that's definitely Wilro Dippenaar in fifth place. We saw Andre Dippenaar going off road, and he hasn't yet set a time. As we see, Basil's currently about to improve. Looks like he's going to drop almost a second off his time, or just over a second off his time. So likely to do a 28, let's say that, a 28.7. And have the greatest final sector. But he was a 28.9. It's Jason Underwood that's currently on a 28.7. Jason Underwood is our current championship leader as well. Heading into this round, it's going to take a miracle for anyone to beat him, but I believe Andre Dippenaar is able to beat him, as is Chris. But it would require Jason pretty much not to be here this weekend, so unfortunately for them, I think Jason has pretty much wrapped it up. We will confirm that at the end of the race, so please stick with us after the race to see who is our crown champion. And currently Jason doing everything in his power to finish on a high. Provisional pole position at the moment from Basil and Chris, so those are our top pace setters at the moment. As we see someone in the background hitting the barrier there. That barrier is not there in practice, but it is in qualifying and into the race, and it is solid, I know, because I've hit it. And it definitely, as we will see, it's Basil. Just understeers slightly, runs slightly wide, and that solid concrete barrier is not going anywhere, and the car just has to go around it. You will see him just clip it. Ooh. And that happened to me yesterday. Unfortunately, with the rFactor update happening in the week, it seems to have caused some issue for some of our drivers. So unfortunately we are down a few drivers tonight. Hopefully we can resolve that issue during the week before the following championship start. But I know Hilton was trying to join, and I actually thought I had got him on, but unfortunately it looks like he's not here, so I'm not too sure what has happened. And Rian van der Weste is also having issues connecting, so we will sort that out during the week. Unfortunately tonight I'm not seeing Ross Human with us tonight, and of course Ross and Rian have been having some fantastic battles in the previous rounds. Neither of them are with us tonight, as we see Jason going off there. That barrier definitely is making guys think twice about cutting that chicane. In practice a lot of them were able to cut it because those barriers weren't there. You would just get a lap cut, but there was no penalty other than that. Whereas now, if you try and cut it, you hit a solid barrier, so you tend to go wide on the right rather than on the inside, or you go on the outside. But then you end up on the outside stand, which doesn't have a barrier, and that sometimes happens. The drivers are going to have to be very, very cautious in the race. So, 7 minutes left to go. Chris has now worked his way up to second place. Jason currently on a 28.6, so he's improved slightly. Chris on a 28.7 at the moment, 28.780. Basil van Rijn on a 28.954 and Timo Smit on a 29.4. So at the moment, Timo is one that's likely to improve. He did have a 28.4 in the practice session prior to this. But like I said, there was no barriers in that chicane, so they could be a bit more aggressive there. Now they're having to think twice about it, so you've really got to put everything on the line to do a lap and not have that barrier catch you out. You see Basil navigating past Harvey there, Harvey being very polite and giving some space. Now tucking in behind Basil. Hopefully Basil doesn't hit the barrier this time around. And before this session started, I was actually notified by one of the drivers to please let the guys know about track warning, track cuts, because some of them were getting a bit aggressive. Well, I didn't need to, because I knew that in the qualifying and in the race, those barriers would be there to do the work. So the guys have to navigate that barrier, they don't have to worry about me. You see Donnie unfortunately losing it on the exit there of, not sure what corner that is actually. He was on a personal best in sector 1, so maybe just got slightly wide and onto the dirt, or the AstroTurf there. I believe that's going under the bridge. So Yonder Dippenal currently on for a good lap. Fastest first sector of anyone. It's Mauro Dippenal that he's now passing. I believe that's his brother. Good to have the two Dippenals there, and of course Mauro is an extremely fast driver in the Seca Corsa, so good to have him joining us tonight. Hopefully he'll join us for the touring cars. I believe that's something up his alley, and he I'm sure will be extremely fast in those touring cars. Mauro, I believe, is a rally car driver just like Yondre. So unfortunately not such a great middle sector, but let's see where that puts Yonder, who's currently in third place. I haven't actually seen him go up to third, but he did not improve there. Basil now on for a good lap. A pretty mind-blowing first sector and a pretty average sector in the middle, but still his personal best, so still on for a possible 28.6 depending on his final sector. Let's see how Basil improves. Currently 3/10 off and picks up about 2/10 by the looks of it, and slots into second place. Now Jason Underwood on for, wow, that's a pretty mind-blowing first sector, almost 3.5 up. Let's see how his middle sector compares. We saw a brief yellow in the, I believe it was in the second sector. Can you keep it? Oh, I think that's going to be a track invalidated lap. Looked like he might have just gone, and he lost a bit of time there anyway, but looks like he might have lost that lap. And the curb on that final corner there, it's part of spoon curb. It just pulls the car wide. Once you do that, you just scrub off all the speed. As we're now seeing him drifting into the corner. He did improve, so I'm surprised it didn't invalidate his lap. It looked like he might have taken a bit too much grass, but it seems like the server was happy with that, which is interesting. And Andre now getting it all wrong there. And that's definitely heading for the barrier. So it's extremely close at the front at the moment. The front four covered by 0.284 of a second. And we then have Timo Smit almost a second down, which is a huge surprise, because Timo had a 28.4 in the practice session prior to this. So he's definitely capable of mixing it there at the front and being at the front. And Mauro Dippenal currently 2 seconds off. So perhaps he's new to rFactor, hasn't yet quite got his settings right, still dialing everything in. Andre also struggled at first, but then got his feeling, and he just loved it once he had it all dialed into his liking. Bjorn Buchner doing great in 7th place at the moment. Donnie Stander, a solid 8th place at the moment as well, ahead of Andre Hildebrandt, Morris van Wyk, Herman Nivert and Harvey Hoos. So 2 minutes left to go. Jason Underwood from Basil van Rijn and Chris Collison, that's our top 3 at the moment. Andre Dippenal in 4th place, Timo Smit 5th place, who has improved, he's now only 4/10 back, but not enough. Maybe Timo will stick it in right at the end, and he has done it every now and again. You see Basil doing an average slower than his personal best, slower than his personal best in the first and second sector, so not likely to improve on that lap. As is Jason, slower than his personal best in the first sector. One of the drivers that is about to improve, so sorry, that was on his previous lap, was Morris van Wyk, who had done his personal best. Really throwing the car through that chicane there. And of course a huge thank you to Alwin, our sponsor, as always. They've stuck with us for a long time and they've been very faithful to us. Thank you for Alwin for everything they do for us. So if you have any automotive glass and aluminium needs, head over to www.alwin.co.za, give Hilker a shout and he'll be able to sort you out. As you see, Timo just getting it all wrong. Fortunately, he won't be able to improve now. So I believe that's it for several of our drivers. Timo has finished. Wilro has finished. Jason has finished, as we see Jason losing it. Let's see if... I believe Basil has finished as well. Perhaps Chris is still on a lap. He was on a personal best in the first sector. I'm not seeing Chris. Oh, Chris has run wide. I believe that might mean that he has not improved in the middle sector. Let's see if he is able to improve. Nicely around there, just keeping the tyres on the curb nicely. That should give him a decent drive. But he's down in the middle sector. So not likely to improve. 2 tenths down in the first sector, even though it was a personal best. Just over a tenth and a half down in the middle sector, and it wasn't a personal best. Let's see how he ends the lap. Currently the only driver, I believe, apart from Hammond, that is on a lap. And he does not improve. Right, let's see if Hammond is finished as well. So I believe that's it. Alright then, let's head off to an ad break and we will be back with you shortly. Right, welcome back everybody. Welcome to the Sim Experience 2022 BMW M2 CS Racing Cup Season 1, the final round, round 8. Coming to you live from Suzuka West in the Suzuka City in Japan. Championship has been proudly brought to you by Alwin Automotive Glass. Any automotive glass and aluminium requirements, head to www.alwin.co.za. I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell. Your broadcast director is Sim Experience SA. Of course, this is your final round of the championship. Wrong button. Finger trouble. This is your final round from Suzuka West. Next week we will be starting the Porsche Super Cup Series. Alright, so tonight let's have a look at our qualifying. So qualifying in pole position we have our championship leader Jason Underwood from Basil van Rijn in second and Chris Collison in third, Andre Duppenaar in fourth. We have Timo Smit in fifth place, Wilro Duppenaar in sixth, Bjorn Buchner in seventh and Donnie Stander in eighth. In 9th place we have Andre Hildebrandt, in 10th place Herman Nivert, in 11th place Marius van Beek and in 12th place Javi Goos. Alright, so let's get our timings up. Get everything running like it should. Hopefully everything is now good. On the formation lap. It's a bit higher, sorry about that. And good evening to Caroline Yost in the comments, in the YouTube comments. And good luck to Andre, we'll be watching all the way. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully Andre has a good round. The previous round he led for the whole race and then gave it away on the last lap due to tyre wear. Hopefully he has better fortune tonight. He hasn't qualified as well, but hopefully he has better luck in the race. So you see all the drivers warming their tyres as they come back down the straight as everyone brakes and accelerates to get a bit of temperature heat. Tyre temperature. It's been a long week clearly. Alright, as they're taking up their grid slots. For some reason Andre Hildebrandt's skin is not showing correctly. I'm not sure why that is. So apologies for that. It is showing correct in the overlays, but in the actual game it's showing that he has a black car. Alright, all the drivers getting ready. Green, and we're away. Let's see who can get into this first point first. Will we have any incidents into the first hairpin? As we see incidents at the back, looks like Marius van Beek heading off, Javi Goos connecting with someone. Not sure who that was in the background. Looks like Herman, Javi Goos and Marius van Beek having an incident at the back. Oh, looked like Marius just moved over slightly on the front of Herman's car. And now we have a DNF for Herman. That is an unfortunate way to end the championship. We're seeing the same thing over and over. Let's head off to our leaders. I don't want to see this. For some reason it is now in slow motion. Let's have a look at Basil van Rijn at the moment. Currently in third place. Chris has jumped up into second place. Timo Smit still in fifth place. So the top five keeping the station. Donnie Stander up to 6th place, so he's had a great start. Wilro Duppenaar has dropped down to 7th place. Andre Hildebrandt currently in 8th, and then Marius van Beek Bjorn Buchner up to 9th now, has just got ahead of Morris van Wyk. I guess that's due to the incidents. As we see one of the views that Basil van Rain running wide and Timo Smith taking advantage, getting a bit sideways on the throttle there. We're going board with this fantastic Minions colour scheme. Let's see who all is around as Basil's coming by maybe. Basil looking there, Timo taking his line. And we have Donny. I believe that's Willow Dippenaar making his way through. Looks like he's got a bit of crumpled rear end, so having some contact somewhere along the line. See Willow now catch up to the back of the pack in front. Alright, so Timo's managed to hold off the fight from Basil and actually pulled away slightly and is now honing in on Andre Dippenaar. But now he gets it a bit sideways, managing to actually not lose too much ground there. You can actually get a bit of rotation with the wheel spin there and use it to your advantage, but that was a bit too much. A bit sideways on the grass, losing momentum there as well. So trying hard to get up to Andre, but pushing a bit too hard and actually losing a bit of momentum there. Alright, on board with Timo again. Going through spoon curve, looking at the back of Andre. Coming down the main straight. New best lap for Jason Underwood, just beaten, as I say that, by Andre Dippenaar, 29.9. Timo's lap not showing there, so I'm gathering that that little bit of excursion on the dirt has meant that he lost the lap time. Definitely closed in on Andre there, but that was deemed to be off track. Right, so Jason's sitting with a 1.1 second gap, well in fact 0.8 over his teammate Chris at the moment, and Andre Dippenaar in third place with Timo hounding him down at the moment. Timo trying everything, but Timo making the odd mistake or two. Basil just hanging in there for now. Andre Dippenaar still sitting in the background there. Never know, as the race progresses, Wilro might come into it, gets a bit more practice with the car, gets a bit more feel maybe. He has to learn the physics, he has to learn the tyres, learn how you can abuse the curbs and lean on the curbs and where not to go on the curbs. Right, Chris in second place going through spoon curb, as you see Jason running slightly wide there, getting a bit sideways as well. Will Chris get the driver in here? For some reason the cameraman has moved back. We want to see Chris at the moment. What is happening here at the front? Quite gets enough drive there, but he's right in the slipstream at the moment. You see Andre Dippenaar with the fastest lap once again on 29.563. There are no team orders in 4 above racing team. Chris wants a win, he wants to go out in the championship with a bang. So we see Jason taking way too much curb, getting a bit sideways there. Chris nice and neat. Andre and Timo sitting nice and close behind them as well. As Jason's going to throw his car around this much, he's going to wear his tyres out much faster than the pack behind. He might also end up slowing the guys down, which brings them closer to Basil van Rain, who's behind them, and maybe even to Wilro Dippenaar. We have a yellow in sector 1, I'm not sure who that is. It has quickly disappeared though. Perhaps just someone running slightly off track. Chris again with the drive, going for the outside move here. And of course our teammates doing the cutback. Is it going to work? No, not quite. As we see Timo in the background having a look at Andre as well. Timo now on the inside. I believe Timo has now got past. He has indeed. Yonder having to drop a gear and lose a bit of momentum there. I believe he might come under attack by Basil. No, Basil slots in behind him. So the two PZN panel beater cars now line astern. Andre getting a bit sideways there. So quite an exciting opening couple of laps. As you see, Chris still sitting close behind. And now Timo is going to hopefully catch up to them and give Chris a bit of a hard time. And let's see, will Jason be able to keep it a bit smoother and hopefully pull away, or is he going to keep it ragged and let everyone close in on him and let the battle for, well, this is effectively a three-way battle for first place. Going through the rest of the pack, we have Wilra Duppenaar in 6th place, Andre Hildebrandt in 7th, Bjorn Buchner 8th place, Donny Stand in 9th, Marius van Wyk in 10th place, and Gavi Ghost in 11th. Unfortunately a DNF for Herman Nebert with that start incident. And a new fastest lap for Timo Smit at 29.0. So Timo definitely closing in on the guys in front. They were previous laps of a 29.8 and a 29.6. 29.6 for Jason, 29.8 for Chris. So Timo is now right with him. So now Chris is going to have to be defending while trying to catch his teammates. With a gap behind him, he was able to at least go on the attack. Now he's got to attack while being alert in his mirrors, as we see Timo already just showing Chris that he's there, filling Chris's mirrors. It's a tactic that drivers do, just to intimidate the driver ahead, just to let them know that you are there. You make them worry and think, and then they sometimes overdrive and they make mistakes. Oh, very close to that barrier. Perfectly done. See Gavi Ghost running wide. I believe that's at a spoon curb. Just carrying too much speed and collecting the barrier. But managing to keep going, so that's all good. Looked like it was just a glancing blow. Right, as we're back at the front. Let's have a look at Timo. Right, and where did Timo now? Hang out Chris in front of him as they dab the brakes, get the car in. That corner is terrible, the way it sucks you out like that. You think you can lean on the curb, but instead it sucks you off the track. So extremely close to the top 5 at the moment. This is fantastic. Top 5 currently covered by 3 seconds according to the timings on the left there. 20 minutes remaining. Top 5 covered by 3 seconds. That's amazing stuff. Oh, Timo turned in early there. I thought he was going to collect the barrier. Of course, if you're watching and you'd like to get involved, we do have a Discord channel. The link is in the description. You can click on it, join it, then decide what championship you'd like to join. We have this championship now wrapping up. Next week we'll be doing the Porsche Super Cup Series, driving the Flat 6 Free Mod, which is in the Steam Workshop in rFactor. Then on Wednesday nights we will be doing, from Wednesday coming up, we'll be doing the MX5 Cup in a Seca Corsa. I believe there are a couple of slots still available there if anyone wanted to join. Oh, Timo really looking, trying different lines. So join the Discord, have a look at what catches your fancy, and get involved. The top 3 really fighting hard here at the moment. The Andre Dippenaar, unfortunately, is sitting behind you, just watching everything happening. Got the perfect view at the moment of Timo and Chris. I think Timo giving Chris a hard time is just allowing Jason to relax slightly, and he's driving a bit smoother as a result, as we see Chris now running slightly wide there. I believe someone got a penalty there. I just saw a penalty alert that popped up there. I'm not sure who. So we're watching Andre Hildebrand with his car with no skin for some reason. Well, for no reason he has, or for some reason he doesn't have a skin. Not that's why we're watching him. And Hilton in the comments. Evening, Hilton. Unfortunately, Hilton couldn't allow him to join for some reason. Yeah, pity about that. It would have been nice to have Hilton with the final race of the season. Hilton having upgraded his rig as well, so it would have been nice to give it a nice workout. And we see Timo going for the lunge. It was a real late block pass. I believe we're going to see a replay of something here. Not sure what. I believe it's into the next corner was the pass, as we see a yellow in sector 2. So this was the pass of Timo. Get up the inside. I don't think Chris expected him there, because Chris was turning in, as you see Chris there losing it in the background. Not sure why we're watching Jason. I think Chris just lost it on the exit there, and I think he's gone into the barrier, so that was probably what the yellow flag was for. And we now have only 3 at the front, so I believe he might have affected one of the other drivers. Basil van Rijn is currently in the pits at the moment. So what has happened to Basil van Rijn? And Chris, where is Chris? So Chris is currently in 4th place. Quite far back now. Not really able to see anyone else. Wallerow is now in 5th place. Basil now currently in 6th place. And dropping. Now down to 9th place. He's still in the pits. So, Andre Hildebrand in 7th place. That means Bjorn Buchner is currently in 6th place. And a great result for Dani tonight in 8th place. Just shows you should never give up, because there's always other incidents and you can usually capitalize on it. So Basil's still sitting in the pits. Finally leaving it. Oh no, actually he's still in the pits. I thought he had stopped. I guess they're doing a bit of repairs there, so maybe Basil hits the bollard in the barrier in the chicane. So Timo Smit in 2nd place at the moment, half a second behind. Let's go see what's happening over there, as we see Dani having a look at Andre here. Oh, Dani getting sideways there and into the barrier. A bit too eager on the throttle, I think. I believe that was Basil van Rijn that they are now lapping. Let's go on board with Timo Smit as we look at Jason in front of us. So Andre Dippenaar in 3rd. Also coming up to lap everyone now. Harvey looks like he was going to go wide, but I think he's just the line he's taking now. Oh, shame. I don't think he realized that there was cars either side of him there. I think the driver's getting through alright. Harvey unfortunately being swallowed up by the pack there. I don't think he realized that there's so many of them together. You see Basil van Rijn has unfortunately got a DNF now. So Harvey Coast now being lapped. Next up the road will be Morrison Lake, but he's a fair bit up the road, so I'm not sure if they'll catch him. I think they will. Alright, so the battle is a three-way battle. I think the back markers would have given them a bit of a hard tack there. Certainly when they went either side of Harvey there. It was well done from all there, managing to not have an incident, a little bit of contact, but that was alright. Looks like Yandre is actually catching them now at the moment. So the previous lap times, Yandre was indeed the fastest when they were catching through the traffic. About half a second faster than the two in front, who were pretty similar lap time wise. And we see, is this Marius going to lose it? I think he's heading for the barrier. Yes. A solid whack with the barrier there. Hopefully it's side on, not head on, so it didn't do too much damage. And a penalty for Timo Smith. I wonder what that's for. Maybe it was track limits. So Timo Smith currently in second place, but with a penalty. I'm not sure what the penalty is. Whether it's a drive-through or perhaps a stop-go. We will see if he pulls into the pits now or not. He has 3 laps to serve his penalty though. I'm not sure if he's even aware that he has a penalty yet. Nice slow-mo of everyone pitching the car in, and you see the car roll slightly, it's a lean on the outer tyre. Right, so Timo Smith will definitely be dropping down if he has to serve a penalty. Now they're coming up with Morris van Beek. Is Morris going to be aware that there's a whole pack of them coming behind? Oh, they have to slow to avoid him having his own incident. And that's allowed Yandre to get past Timo now. As we see a replay of it, this is what happens when you catch the back markers. Anything can happen. Morris gets slightly wide, the car starts to spin on him. And as a result, Jason has to ease off, and Timo hits the brakes, and Yandre, who's further back, keeps his foot in it, just gets the momentum. The luck is in his court at the moment. We have to see it 3 times. Now on board with everyone. You see Yandre just taking a move. Right, as we go back live now. Timo now indeed heading into the pits. Is it a drive-through or is it a stop and go? It's a stop and go. Although I believe it would have been a drive-through because he has stopped and it looks like he's having a pit stop. If it's a stop and go, it shouldn't do that. So I believe Timo has the incorrect penalty. I believe he's supposed to have a drive-through and he's served a stop and go, and as a result he's got a pit stop. I think that's going to drop him right down the order. That's totally going to ruin his championship. We'll see after the championship is finished, after the race, where exactly he finishes, but I believe he's going to come up now in probably 9th place. And probably have to serve his penalty still after that, because it won't register then. And with all the damage from knocking that, his pit stop is taking extremely long as well. So that's a disaster for Timo. So Yandre Dippenaar currently in 2nd place. Can he now catch Jason Underwood? Let's compare their lap times from this lap as they come across the line. previous lap for Jason, a 1:30.1. A previous lap for Andre, a 29.8, so 3/10 faster. Has he got enough time left? With 8 minutes left to go, probably get maybe 5, maybe 6 laps in. So I think he's got enough time to catch. So can Andre end the season with a win? Finally have a win. He was so close to the previous round. And I almost went off into the barrier there. And I half-heartedly joked at the start that he starting worse, he'll go forward, was the previous race he started good and went backwards, so maybe it will be his fortune tonight to end with a win. That would be fantastic for him. Let's see if he can catch. The gap is extended, of course, as he went off track there. Looks like he's now fighting tyre wear, running wide. And this is, of course, the point in the last race where he once again hit tyre wear. So I'm not sure, maybe he's going to struggle again. Maybe he needs to up the traction control at the moment. As we see Timo Smith finally coming out of the pits in 8th place and a lap down. Jason now running deep into turn, I believe that's turn 2 then. So the gap coming down slightly as a result of Jason running deep there. I guess he's having problems stopping the car as the tyres are wearing. Bjorn Bruckner up to 5th place. I believe that would be his best result of the championship. I think he's had a 6th place twice. I don't think he's had a 5th place. I stand corrected, of course. Maybe he's had 2 5ths, not 2 6ths. We have Andre Dippenaar in 2nd, of course. We have Wilro Dippenaar in 4th. So Wilro just keeping his nose clean at the moment, and with everyone else having the incidents, that's maybe the way to go. He'll pick up some good points. Get all the glory, but at least you'll get the experience and the points. Andrew Hildebrand having a good race again in 6th place. Donnie Stander, 7th place. Good race from Donnie. Of course, Donnie is currently the last driver that's on the lead lap. So the gap 1.9 seconds. You see Andre running slightly deep now. Drivers definitely need to be upping the traction control as the tyres wear and you brake. The back end wants to come around more. And this is the engine compression kicks in, it's struggling with the lack of adhesion. So the gap is actually extended to 2.2 now. And Chris sitting 2.2 behind Andre, so at the moment it looks like this is going to be our finishing order. Oh, clipping the barrier there. That was lucky that he didn't end up with a proper impact. That is about as close as you can get away with. And you see Andre and Harvey. I believe Harvey is being lapped. So at the moment we see Timo driving behind the 2 leaders, but he of course is now a lap down. I hope he is aware that he is a lap down. He's currently in 8th place and not in 3rd place. Currently having a bit of speed advantage on Yandre by the looks of things. So, just over 3 minutes left to go. We have a yellow in Sector 2. Might have been someone through the chicane just getting slightly wide on the dirt there. It looks like it was Wilro Dippenaar. Is he going to have a spin? Holding a nice beautiful drift there. That was very nicely held. Oh, unfortunately he went the wrong, just overcorrected and it snapped the other way. That slow motion, for a moment it looked absolutely beautiful the way I was holding it. That point there looks nicely held, and then he kept turning. That's unfortunate, that was close. So Jason currently has a 5-second lead on Chris at the moment. So Yandre Dippenaar has fallen back. I'm not too sure why. So I was thinking that this was Jason and Yandre, but it's actually Chris and Yandre, so my apologies there. Jason has cleared off down the road. Oh, Yandre getting on the curb and the car getting a bit sideways there, nicely held though. Lots of action, not too sure where to look as I'm watching. We have Wilro Dippenaar currently in 4th place. So Wilro has made his way up to 4th place. It's an excellent result for his first ever race. If anything happens to the guys in front of him, he'll actually be on the podium. He hasn't had the pace, he's just had the endurance by the looks of things. He's kept everything clean, he's kept it going, although we did see him having that one spin under the bridge. As we see Harvey Ghost having a bit of spin and Andre Hildebrand drifting around the corner. Around Spoon Curb. Looks like Donnie might actually have a bit of a drive on him at the moment. Unfortunately the camera went away. Let's go back to Donnie and see if Donnie had a drive. No, not enough. So perhaps Donnie can pick off. This will be the last lap for them. So we're on the final lap at the moment. And Donnie pick off Andre Hildebrand for 6th place. And a penalty for Andre Hildebrand. I'm not sure what he got a penalty for. And I believe that is Jason Underwood pulling over. He's now... Is he finished or does he have a problem? They are finished, so I'm not sure why it's showing that. My apologies, it seems like these drivers, I guess, are a bit further back, and I was caught out by that. As you see Dani losing it. So Andre will indeed get 6th place. That means Bjorn will indeed get 5th place. Wilro Dippenaar then takes home 4th place. So a fantastic 4th place for Wilro Dippenaar in his debut race with us. Well, his debut race with us in rFactor. He has raced with us in Assetto Corsa. Oh, we have a slow motion of Andre coming into the chicane. I believe this means he's going to head for the barriers. He somehow managed to hit the barrier and go over it. So Harvey Ghost bringing it home in 10th place. Slightly wide in spoon curb, managing to stay out of the dirt though. And we'll bring it home for the end of the championship. So currently we have Andre Hildebrandt in the pits. And takes home 10th place, having to do a drive-through penalty. Alright, so let's head off to an ad break and then we'll go find our top 3 drivers and our championship winner. We'll be right back with you. All right, welcome back everyone. We have the interviews here. We have our top drivers that are available. We also have a few extra drivers just since it's the last round of the championship. We have Wilro Dippenaar with us as well. So let's start with Wilro since it's your first rFactor race with us. Wilro, glad to have you with us finally. Been trying for a long time. Yandre has been taking all the glory for the Dippenaar name. You look like you had a pretty good race for your first race. Just one incident under the bridge by the looks of things. You kept your nose clean and you came home for 4th place. So how was your first race in rFactor 2?
Oh, it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It's first time here. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good stuff. Hopefully you'll join us for the upcoming rounds, which is probably going to be the Porsche Cup next, which is a free mod to download.
Yes, no, for sure. I'll join you guys there. Yeah.
Great stuff. And then after that, we're going to be doing the British Touring Cars, which looks like that's going to be a fantastic championship as well.
Yes, no, I'll see you guys there.
Great stuff. Then let's head off to Andre Hildebrandt. Andre, you had a a good race the last couple of rounds. You seem to have, the last half of the championship, found a bit of speed. How was your race? You looked like you didn't have the entertainment like you had in the previous rounds, but it looked like a solid points haul in the end.
Yeah, I had a bit of luck actually in this race. I wasn't, I couldn't keep up with Bjorn and them, and somehow I seemed to have a lag in my computer twice. I don't know what happened, and suddenly Bjorn had just appeared in front of me. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's a pity.
But I had a good dice with him, and then I just buggered it up as well with a drive-through on the last corner there, I think. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and Donnie was pushing me so hard.
Yeah, it looked like he was closing it right up to the last lap, and I thought he might actually make a move on the last lap, but unfortunately, he just pushed it a bit too hard and spun.
Yeah. No, we had a good dice in that, and a bit of luck on my side too, but good fun.
Good stuff. All right, so then let's head into our top four. Let's start with Chris. Chris, you had a fantastic practice coming into this round. You had one of the fastest times in qualifying. You just couldn't quite get pole position, but you were pretty close to the front. Your race seemed to go a little bit haywire. It looked like you had a bit of an off moment when I think Timo made a pass on you. He made a quite late block pass on you, which looked like you turned in and you didn't quite know he was there because he was there sort of quite late. And then the chicane straight after that, you went off. How was your race? Was that something that what threw you off? Was it because of that pass, or was it just tyre wear? What happened?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate JB Championi. Expecting to see a shoey from him very soon. Videoed, of course. Very close between the top five with pace again. I thought I'd probably, or hopefully, grab a second for a 4 above 1-2. Yeah, there was a bit of a block pass. I'm not a fan of them, to be honest with you. Not in sim racing. I think it's too dodgy. But hey ho, I lost my head, unfortunately, for a couple of corners and then created my own accident. So then I had to basically fight back. A couple of mistakes were made. I think Timo had to serve a penalty, and that's grabbed me back into second place. So overall, pretty pleased with that. It's been a great championship. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the Porsche, even more so for the BTCC, which I think is fantastic. And just quickly, if you don't mind, before I go, quick shout out to the Flackwell Heath branch of the 4 Above Racing fan club. That's my sister Wendy, Jessica and Annabelle. I know they were cheering us on tonight, waving their pom-poms. So hi, girls. And thanks to you, Dennis, for everything you've done. It's been fabulous, mate. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Great shout out there, and congratulations on your second place in the championship, I believe. You are second with 277 points. So I will now officially announce it is Jason Underwood is our champion. So a 1-2 for 4 Above Racing.
Well, chuffed to bits with that, and congratulations to Jay, and congratulations to everybody. It's been fantastic. Shame Mika wasn't here for the last couple of races because he's been a fine adversary, but hey ho, that's the way it goes.
Yes, indeed. Then let's talk with Yandre before we get to Jason. Yandre, you had once again a fantastic race for various reasons. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go your way at the end again. Looks like your tyre wear kicked in probably about the same point as it did last week with about 7 minutes to go. You sort of looked like you were just getting too much spin and slide, and otherwise it was looking like you were going to move forward, and you were actually catching Jason as well. So you had the pace, and then your tyres just went off. So how was the race from your point of view?
Yeah, the race was quite nice. My tyres went off and I struggled to keep it on the road, and I made a mistake, so Chris got past me. And yeah, well, I had a good 1, 2 and 3 places there, like we finished in the championship.
Yeah, fantastic. Any shout outs from your side for Redline Racing or for PZN Panel Beaters or anyone?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's watching every Sunday night. Caroline Yerster, my father and my mother. And yeah, thank you.
All right, then let's get to our champion, Jason. Woo-hoo. Congratulations. You are officially the Season 1 champion of the MX Cup, the BMW M2 CS Racing Cup. So congratulations and well done for winning the championship. You look like you also had a bit of a crazy race. You know, you had all the pace, you had lots of competition. There was a battle of, looked like 5 guys battling for first place for most of the race, and then they slowly, it ended up where it was the 3 of you, and then it was basically you on your own, and then your tires, and then guys were catching you. So lots happened. So how was the race from your point of view, and how's the championship been from your point of view?
Well, thank you very much, Dennis. It's about time coming. I won something, so I'll take this with open arms. But yeah, you know, as we saw through practice and qualifying, there were 6 guys that were separated by 0.4 of a second. So I knew it was going to be tough. I knew people were quick, if not maybe quicker than I was, but I just turned the traction control on and hoped my tires would last till the end, so which they did. But yeah, it was good. And the championship wise, very entertaining, very competitive. There are some extremely fast guys in this league. I wasn't the fastest by any means, but kept it on the black stuff for most part of it. So yeah, it was just really good, very good race to end off with. Congrats to my teammate Chris, claiming second in the championship, and I believe that's also a 4 above team championship. So we'll take both of them. We'll grab the trophies and run back to the UK. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Dennis, you've done a splendid job, and we'll definitely be back for the Porsches and definitely the BTCC after that. So yeah, well done to everybody.
Great stuff.
That was great.
Yeah, a bit of a shame that we've lost Mika along the way, because Mika was a really good challenge to you guys, and unfortunately, yeah, things didn't go quite to plan. Hopefully Mika will join us again at some point in the future. So at the moment, our current championship positions, just to finalize it, it was Jason Underwood taking first place, Chris Collison taking second place, so a 1-2 for 4 above racing. In third place we have Yandre Duppinar, so a superb third place Yandre, absolutely amazing. Hopefully next championship round you get a win in the Porsches. Timo Smith in 4th place, Mika Abrams in 5th place, Herman Nevoot in 6th place, Andre Hildebrandt in 7th place, Bjorn Buchner in 8th place, Ross Human in 9th place, Rian van der Westhuizen in 10th place, Peter Murray in 11th place, Javi Goos in 12th place, Marius van Wyk 13th, Dani Stander 14th, Peter Galdenaes 15th, Stanton Augustus 16th, Hilton Nickerson 17th, Sean Webber 18th, Basil van Rijn 19th, Jean-Ray de Toy 20th, Sean Johnson 21st, Hilke Veronica 22nd, Wilro Duppinar, you finished in 3rd with the points you got tonight, Mario Claessens in 24th, Sean Olivier in 25th, and Stephen Castellan in 26th. So 26 guys competing in the championships, unfortunately not all at one time, but a solid championship nonetheless. And thank you guys very much for everything that you did to make this a possibility. Thank you as well to Alwin Automotive Glass for sponsoring and being here for us. I'm going to just jump to the other room so that I don't get anything else. But thanks everyone for making this happen, and congratulations once again to Jason Underwood for taking the championship, and we'll be back next week with the Porsche Super Cup. Round 1 coming to you next week at this time, so we'll catch you all then. And once again, thanks to everyone that watched, and if you enjoyed what you watched, remember to like and subscribe, and we will catch you all next week.